we're going to move on to the strategic and tactical reporting, and we're going to start off as usual over in the Kharkiv front. So over at the Kharkiv front, we have before we go to Kharkiv, let's do some Sumi. There's a geolocation of a air defense radar getting destroyed over at Peshechev. So at Peshechev. So that is taken out. And that's all for the Sumy region. Over the Kharkiv front, at the Kharkiv region, there is a geolocation of a hit on the Ukrainian mortar over at Ivansky. This is not where the main battles are happening, but the Russians are still paying attention of Ukrainian forces around in this northwestern part of the Kharkiv front. And at the Kozacha Lopan sector, the Russian forces attacked Ukrainian forces at Kharkiv, at Graniv again, or Granov. So another hit, or it might not be an offensive, it could be just fire attack, but either way, Ukrainian forces defending this border town has been hit by the Russian forces. So that's all for the Kozacha Lopan region. We continue to have no news about Hoptivka. I think this is totally not there. I think we'll soon be invalidating this mapping very soon. Just gonna give it a little bit more time to brew, and so that's all. Over at the Liptsy sector, so this is the Liptsy sector. At the Liptsy sector, the Russian forces continue their attack over at Liptsy, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry and Ryba. So Russian forces are still attacking south towards Liptsy and in the direction of Slobodansky. The Russians are also attacking south of Lukyansky. Tentatively, it looks like they're getting trapped as the Ukrainian forces sent reinforcement into this region here, successfully holding back the Russian forces over in this region here. So no frontline changes is registered. Over in the middle of Liptsy, there is a bombardment by the Russians on the Ukrainian position over Liptsy. And if we zoom further down, at Vasily, there was a lancet hit on the Ukrainian artillery over in the south of Vasily. As you can see, previously we have already reported some shelling over in this region, as well as some geolocations. So some shelling. So Ukrainians definitely have some forward operating position over at Vasily and Malis Vasily, which allows them to react to fighting over at Neskuchne, Lukyansky, as well as Liptsy. So this is why the Russians are paying a lot of attention around this area here. And this position is also heavily defended. There is multiple heavy entrenchment protecting Vasily, as well in the area of Mali Vasily. So this is definitely a military stronghold for the Ukrainians. So taking this will be strategically important for the Russians to take on top of Liptsy. So the Russians, if they can take Liptsy, Vasily, and Mali Vasily, then the entire region here would collapse and push a front line further down. So that's all for this area. Over at the Neskuchne region, there is no fighting being reported around here. There's only one geolocation of Russian bombardment on Ukrainian positions just off Zeleny, but that's about it. Over at the Staritsia sector, there is a geolocation, as per mentioned earlier. Russian forces geolocated in this center part of Staritsia, with the Russians continue to push down from Buhruvatka direction towards Staritsia. And there is still no indication that Staritsia has been captured fully, other than the Russian Defense Ministry's assertion on the 18th of May. Ukrainian forces are counter-attacking, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, for both days already, 20th to 21st. Russians are still being reported to be attacking, according to the Ukrainians. So Ukrainians are definitely holding a defense. I don't think Staritsia is captured. The Russians are pushing, and we will continue to monitor the situation. Similarly, over at Buhruvatka, Ukrainian Defense Ministry also mentioned the Russians are attacking out of Buhruvatka. So unsure the out means what? Is it going towards Pralivka or crossing the river over into the forest, or are they actually heading towards Staritsia? So not exactly sure what do they mean by from Buhruvatka, or are they heading south towards along the river? So let's continue to monitor and see how this develops. And over at the Vovchansk sector, things is getting simpler. In terms of the reporting, there is only the Russian side attacking, according to the reports from Ukrainian Defense Ministry and Ryba. And the fighting is currently in the center, while the Ukrainians say that it's in the north. So, but both could be correct, because this center part is also considered the northern part, the northern half, because of the Vovchansk River around here. So both are not wrong. Ukrainian forces are conducting counterattack over the Vovchansk region. So we will continue to monitor. Unsure where the counterattack coming from. Is it from across the bridge, or coming from the west, or coming from the other parts, crossing the river? Not sure. We will just continue to monitor. Russian forces continue to bombard the Ukrainian position, including a video that went a little bit viral with a massive 1,500 kilogram bomb that just bombs up the entire building. Another one is a airstrike being reported within the forest region, where most likely the Ukrainians have military positions within, because forests are usually very good place to hide stuff. So that's all for this Vovchansk region. And before we go over to the other side, there is electronic warfare station getting destroyed over at Moldova. So very far away, further south in the Seversky Donetsk River. And we move on to the Kharkiv region. There is a geolocation of Russian forces around here. So this shows that the Ukrainians' assertion that this is entirely a gray zone is correct. The Russians are in this area here, but that will make this this column of non-Russian mapping a bit weird, very out of place. So most likely this is not true. The Russians actually have firm control around there, just that the Ukrainian mapping refused to acknowledge that the Russians have firm control over this part around here. So we will continue to monitor the situation around here. The Russian forces also bombed yet another bridge over at Volokivka. So there's this bridge across the Vovchansk River, and it got destroyed by the Russian side. Continue to try to prevent Ukrainian reinforcement coming from the east, which is unusual. So it could be a case where I'm not sure why the Ukrainians will come from this side, that they need to destroy the bridges, because the Ukrainians can simply just reinforce out the highways and main roads. So let's wait and see what is the reasons for all this destruction of the bridges. There's one here, two here, this is the third one along this entire stretch. So let's wait and then see. But this destruction of the bridges may also signify that the Russians actually do not plan to go south. So this is, like I said, this is a pinning operation, this is a diversion operation, in my opinion. So far the actions seems to suggest that I am correct. So let's continue to wait and see. That's all for the Kharkiv front. We move on over to the Kherson front.